Hi, I'm Chairman Oz Nesbitt. Welcome to another episode of Chop It Up with the Chairman. And my longtime childhood friend, Mr. Lavell Keeling, all the way from Augusta, Georgia. He has an initiative that he is championing, not just limited in the Augusta-Richmond County area, but all across the nation. He's partnered up with an organization to do everything we can to look out for folks who are dealing with blindness or low vision, diabetes, and a whole lot of other things that we're going to really talk about during this segment and episode of Chop It Up with the Chairman. Mr. Keeling, welcome aboard. Good to see you. It's been many, many years since we've had a chance to fellowship and see each other. Good to have you on Chop It Up with the Chairman.
Thank you so much, Commissioner. I greatly appreciate the invite. I greatly appreciate the answer. I am really happy to be here, especially to be among some good old home folks.
Well, we're glad to have you, and I got to tell you, you looking mighty sharp too. Looking real dapper there, my friend. But listen, we're going to jump right into this because you got a wealth of knowledge and information, a lot of good stuff that people really need to know about. First, I want you to just take a moment and tell us a little bit about your personal story and how, because you've not always been blind. When did this happen? And tell us about your personal story just a little bit there, and then we'll transition.
Well, once again, I am Lavell Keeling, and I am from Augusta, Georgia, same hometown as the Commissioner. I lost my sight back in 2016, 17, but I want to go back a little further than that because I've had diabetes since 1991. So I've had diabetes over 30 years.
Yes, sir.
Pancreas had went out on me, and and I worked. I was working at the Augusta City Fire Department, and had several jobs. That I was working successful. But up until 2015, that's when it started to hit me. My diabetes started, shaking my body up. In January the 22nd, 2015, I had a massive heart attack. I was getting up one morning to go on a job interview, and I fell back, and I thought I was okay. So my wife and my daughter, they called the ambulance the first time, as being bullheaded. I didn't want to go, but all of a sudden, I fell back again, and I had to go. So I was admitted in Doctor's Hospital January the 22nd, 2015 with a massive heart attack, which I died on the table at the time. But it wasn't my time, God said. God had things he had for me to do. So he brought me, along with Doctor's Hospital, medical staff, and the power hands of God, they brought me back. Through that year, coming up to August of 2015, I was admitted in the hospital once again with double pneumonia. Once again, I left here. But the power of God, if God's not ready for you, and God got things for you to do, he's going to keep you placed and keep you grounded. So he brought me back again. So within that 1 year, I died twice. But I thank God that I'm still here. 2016, 17, okay. I had 10 eye surgeries.
Wow.
Of course, I'm totally blind.
Yes, sir.
I can't see. I see dark day, dark night. But my right eye is a prosthetic eye, and my left eye is no sighted at all. But the power of God got me here for a reason. So I've been, and I'm working with a company called Accessible Pharmacy.
Okay.
Accessible Pharmacy, if I could tell you a little bit about this company.
And I want you to tell me about Accessible Pharmacy, but I just have to highlight just for a moment what a powerful testimony you just shared. And that's what I really wanted to start off with, is talking about your personal plight, your personal story. You had a successful career, worked in several different industries there in Augusta, Georgia, was a part of the Augusta-Richmond County Fire Department, and you were living your life. You shared with us about how diabetes crippled and took a hold of you. You had 2 heart attacks, a very, very powerful testimony, but God has kept you, and you're here to be able to share a story because you're absolutely right. He had more in store for you to do, more work for you to do. And now, here we are. You're teamed up with this company. Tell us who they are and tell us what their mission is all about.
Okay, Accessible Pharmacy is a pharmaceutical company that serves the blind, the low vision, independent seniors, as well as people with certain types of disabilities. But also Accessible Pharmacy will serve all people. We don't turn nobody down. It's one of the largest comprehensive pharmacies of its kind in the country. Accessible Pharmacy, all the services that we do, Accessible Pharmacy is free of charge. I am the business director of development in the whole state of Georgia, and I also have the whole state of Alabama.
So I want to stop you right there because that's what motivated me. That's partly of what motivated me to get you here in Rockdale County, Conyers, Georgia, because we have a demographic of seniors and low-income people who certainly are in need of those services and those benefits that you and your company offer. I want you to tell us more about it because people are watching this broadcast and they're taking notes because this is the kind of information that can certainly bless and benefit the demographic here in Rockdale County. Take your time, tell us how we can get involved.
Okay. Accessible Pharmacy, what we do is, when I mentioned that we have a service of free of charge, we have 3 pillars that we follow.
Okay.
The first pillar is we do prescription medications.
Prescription medication.
We also do over-the-counter medication.
Over-the-counter medication.
Eye drops.
Eye drops.
Insulin. Diabetic equipment, as far as talking monitors, meter to thermometers, scales. We do it all.
Diabetic equipment. So all of the folks who are listening, particularly those folks who are suffering and dealing with, or should I say managing diabetes, they are familiar with all of those terms that you're referencing.
Exactly.
Continue.
We also do vitamin and nutritious supplements.
Okay.
Okay. We know that a lot of people that has low vision, a lot of people that's blind, as myself, you know, we have we do pet dog medications. We do down to service medications where, you know, if you have a service dog or whatever the case, we do down to service dog medications. We can get that also.
Oh, wow. That is just really good to know because those individuals who have service dogs or service pets, now you have what you need to not only take care of the patient, him or herself, but also the pet.
Exactly.
Very good. Very good. Tell us some more.
And our second pillar that we follow is the packaging that we does. You know, we can you go to some pharmacies and stuff, you know, they like, okay, you come here, you put your prescription in, you get your medication. It may not be suitable for the people with blind and low vision. So what we do is we do a certain type of packaging. And the packaging that we do, we have indispensable pill organizers. We have daily pill packages. We have easy standard open bottles because we know some people suffer with arthritis.
Yes, sir.
Some people suffer with bone density in their hands.
Yes, sir.
Or some people suffer with neuropathy in their hands.
Okay.
So what we do is we have a special type of bottle, easy open bottle, that is not hard for you to open. We have an individual pill packaging. And what I mean by that is, for an example, you may take 6 pills in the morning, you may take 3 pills at night. What we do is we package it up, the 6 pills that you take in the morning, all you have to do is let us know what 6 you take. We'll package that up. It'll say morning meds, or either if it on the night meds, we package that up, the 3 pills at night. It'll say night meds. What we do when I was coming up, and I'm pretty sure the commission can agree with me on this right here. When I was coming up, we will always go to that mirror in the bathroom. And when you take that mirror and pull it back, you got 100 pill bottles back there.
We called it the medicine cabinet. That's right.
And you know, some of the medicine was out of date. Some of it the doctor told you to throw away. Some of it you didn't need anymore. But what we do is when we do our individual pill packaging and things, we try to get away from the bottles.
Mr. Keeling, wait a minute, because you taking me way back a little bit, but it's a good thing, I must say. But I want to go back to a couple of things you just mentioned. Number one, I really appreciate the pre-packaging because you talked about the morning meds, the noonday meds, and the nighttime meds, having those already pre-packaged so that those individuals will be on track with taking the right medicines at the right time. But you didn't stop there. When you mentioned about arthritis and having those neural issues that sometimes folks, I remember my grandmother handing me her medicine bottle asking me to open it up for her because she suffered with arthritis in her wrist, in her hand, and it was difficult. It was difficult. We have a good number of seniors who live alone, and they don't have any companion, they don't have any help. This kind of packaging is a plus for seniors who are living alone. You took me back, and yes, sir, when you referenced that mirror, but that mirror was really called the medicine cabinet in the bathroom, and it had all of the daily medicines, and it had all of what we call the standby medicine too, whether it was Mylanta, Mickle Magnesia, or Pepto-Bismol, or a bottle of Bare Aspirin, it was right there, because the go-to was always Tylenol for almost whatever you had, and you knew there was always a bottle of rubbing alcohol, because your mama believed that rubbing alcohol cured everything.
Exactly.
You took me down memory lane, but let's come back, and I want you to continue to tell us about some of the wonderful work that you are doing. And one of the things I want to shift just for a moment, because although you have these limitations, I really don't want to use the word disability. I'm just going to say a few limitations. It hasn't stopped you from doing anything. You and your lovely wife made your way here from Augusta to Rockdale County. You look sharp. You're doing this work. You're championing this cause on behalf of so many people with limitations like yourself. Tell us what's your motivation? Tell us what wakes you up every morning and say, you know what, I got to keep going.
One thing that wakes me up in the morning is my old master. He wakes me up and he brought me to things, and he's going to see me through things. I don't let my disability, I am blind. I'm 100% blind, but my mind is still here.
Yes, sir.
See, I may have got up with no sight, but I still got up in my right mind.
Yes, sir.
So as he gave me I do only what God allows me to do. And God says, if I touch just one, but I don't try to stop that. I try to touch many, because somebody had to reach back and pull me up. So when they reach back and pull me up, I try to do the best I can and get the resources out to help as many people as I can. I'm always there for a person if they should need me, if they should, to get in touch with me, however. But what really gets me is I'm a positive person because I serve a positive God.
You know, I gotta tell you that I so appreciate hearing your personal message and testimony. The thing that I appreciate the most, because you and I are from the same place, and you just talked about the fact that you don't throw any pity parties.
No, I don't need to, because I don't need to throw them, Commissioner, because guess what? It's so many other people throwing pity parties. I don't have the time. My time is to get this. My time is to, I have a family. I have my wife. I've been married to my wife for 28 years, but we've been in each other's life for 40 years.
Well, you have a beautiful wife and beautiful daughters. You ought to be, and I know you are, super proud, because every time I see you all on social media, you guys a beautiful wife and good-looking daughters, and they're doing well. And that's just wonderful. That speaks volumes for the man and the leadership of what you've already done and what you continue to do. Well, listen, I want to make sure, because all of our folks who are watching and listening to this broadcast, and we believe that this is going to be shared in many, many places other than here in Rockdale County, I want you to go back into telling us about a few more of those benefits, those things that people really need to know about what you all can provide for them.
Okay. For one thing, I'd like everybody to know that we work with all types of insurance. We work with Medicaid, Medicare. We even work with the VA insurance. If it's Blue Cross Blue Shield, United Healthcare, whatever the case it is, we work with them. The medication, like I mentioned, the medication is delivered to your front door. I know a lot of people have trouble getting to the pharmacy. The pharmacy may be so long away from them. It may be 20 minutes away from them, or whatever the case it may be. But it might, they can't get to the pharmacy, and then once they get to the pharmacy, it's hard for the pharmacy to label out the medication bottle like they want. And then one other thing that we do large print, because like I say, some people have so much trouble reading their bottles. A lot of people suffer with eyesight.
Yes, sir.
And what we do is we enlarge the print on the bottles. And also, if you do the Braille, we do Braille, and we do Spanish and script talk. And once you get with our company, we have a machine that will come to you. You place the pill bottle on the machine. It'll tell you the type of medication, the milligram of the medication, and how often you're supposed to take the medication.
Wow, technology is just powerful. So you've got a device that they can actually put the medicine bottle, connect it with the device, and it will speak and talk about everything that bottle has on it in terms of instructions and directions.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
Ms.
Yes,
Keeling,
sir.
that's great news.
Medication. Amoxicillin, 250 milligrams. Patient. John J. Smith. Instructions. Take 1 capsule 3 times daily. Quantity, 30 capsule.
Now, take a moment and give us a number, because our PR team will put on the screen the number. They're going to put a ticker down there where people can see the number. How should people best get a hold of you? I want to go ahead. We've got more to talk about, but I want to go ahead and put that number up on the screen right now while we're still in the midst of our episode in this particular segment. What is the best contact number to reach you in your office?
706-691-8246.
Give it to us one more time.
706-691-8246.
Fantastic. We're going to take a break. Folks, you're watching Chop It Up with the Chairman. I'm Chairman Oz Nesbitt. We have our good friend here, Mr. Lavell Keeling, all the way from Augusta, Richmond County, and he's talking about all of those products that will help folks who have either low vision or no vision at all. If you're suffering with diabetes and you have limitations, and some may identify them as disabilities. We're going to come back from break and give you more of our good friend, Mr. Lavell Keeling. You're watching Chop It Up with the Chairman on Channel 23.
Three, two, one. Always ready. Always prepared. Keeping Rockdale County safe. Tuition reimbursement. Take-home vehicle. Education incentives. Competitive salary. Are you ready to join the team? Immediate openings. Apply today.
Rockdale County Senior Services is offering transportation for any honorably discharged veteran residing in Rockdale County, ages 18 and older, to and from their veteran appointments at no charge to them.
Hello everybody, my name is Alfred Halliday. I am the driver for the Vet Transportation Service of Rockdale Senior Services.
My name is Stephanie Lewis. I am a veteran driver at Senior Services.
Inside Eagle, there's the driver's cabin with captain's chairs. There are 2 attendees at all times. It is equipped with items to keep the veterans feeling comfortable, safe, and secure during the trip. Behind the driver's cabin, there are 3 stationary chairs where the veterans can ride. Behind that, there are 3 chairs that can be lifted to accommodate for 2 disabled veterans in wheelchairs. And at the rear of the vehicle is the lift to safely lift wheelchairs into the vehicle.
I've served in the U.S. Army. I had a stroke, and it caused me to have early onset dementia. And when I had the stroke with the dementia, the doctors took my driver's license as well as my nursing license and said I couldn't live by myself anymore. So I currently live with my oldest daughter and my son-in-law and their children. And she has to take me to my appointments, and sometimes she has her grandchild, who's only 3. And it's very, very hard to keep a toddler happy in a car when you're sitting in a VA hospital in a parking lot. And so this service is really going to benefit. And if it wasn't for the senior center, I'd be lost.
The program offers 3 convenient pickup locations: the Olivia Haydell Senior Center, the Rockdale Veterans Affairs Office on Taylor Street, or at their home, and offers trips to the Veterans Hospital in Decatur and the 2 VA clinics in Stockbridge and Covington.
It's not going to be long before they take my driver's license away. Then what do? That bus right there. Now, they took me to the VA hospital in Decatur, Georgia. They come and picked me up at my house, which I didn't expect it. They came out and picked me up, and we went to Decatur. I've never been so comfortable in all my life letting Alfred drive and Stephanie talking. And when we got there, she escorted me to my first visit, which was the audio department called hearing aids. And when I got there, she was waiting. She said, "Where do we go now?" I said, "We go to the bronze team, which is on the 11th floor." So she says, "No, I'll stay down here. You go on up to the bronze floor and see your doctor." So I went up there and seen my doctor. And after I got through, I found Alfred sitting in the waiting room waiting on me. So believe me, that's the best thing in the world that ever happened. Like I say, when they take my driver's license away, I won't be able to go to the VA.
For more information or to register, contact the Senior Services Transportation Manager at 770-278-7284. Our veterans served us, and now we want to serve them.
Welcome back to Chop It Up with the Chairman, with Chairman Oz Nesbitt, our good friend, my homeboy, my longtime childhood friend, Mr. Lavell Keeling, all the way from Augusta, Richmond County. He's given us some very valuable information you've been sharing during this segment of Chop It Up with the Chairman about blindness and low vision, diabetes. You shared your personal story. We talked about the beautiful family that you have. We just, oh my goodness. Yes, sir. And we really appreciate you sharing, because we know that here in Rockdale County, that we, as I stated earlier, we do have a demographic of folks who could certainly take advantage of the services that the company you represent provide. What I want to talk about, just before we jump into a few other things, give me a little bit more about those folks who are homebound and they don't have transportation, they really can't get out and move about. How does one truly take advantage of the services that you and your company provide? Tell us about the person that's sitting at home and they like all of what they're hearing, but they said, I can't get out, I can't get to them, they're homebound. How do they move forward?
Good question. Let me give you a good answer.
All right.
All right. What you need to do at that time, I want you to take this number 888 MEDS, which is 633-7007.
Give it to me one more time.
888-633-7007.
Okay.
I want you to call that number, and they're going to ask you for your name. Now, it's only 3 things that you have to do to come aboard with the Accessible Pharmacy. One thing is they're going to ask you who's your primary physician.
Okay.
The next thing they're going to ask you is who's your pharmacist.
All right.
The next thing they were going to ask you what medication that you are taking.
Okay.
That's the only 3 questions that you would be asked. And from there on, they would take it away from you because they get in contact with your doctors. They get in contact with your physicians, your pharmacy, and they arrange everything. You can get a 30-day supply of your medication. You can get a 90-day supply. It's a medicine of your choice.
Okay.
I mean, the pharmacy of your choice. But, and the good thing is, a lot of people sometimes forget their medication at home. But with our pharmacy is you just call the pharmacy, let them know what medication that you forgot, or if you forgot all of your medications. And what we do is reach out to the pharmacy that close to you where you on vacation, and then we can either have it delivered to that pharmacy, or either we can have it delivered to the motel, hotel, or address that you're staying in.
Mr.
And
Keeling, that's a very...
You will not go without your medication.
I tell you, you've got a very sophisticated operation there because there are no excuses.
At all.
At all, absolutely. I do want you to give us that number one more time, though. Give it to me one more time.
888.
Yes, sir.
633-7007.
All right. So all of those folks who are watching and listening who are homebound and they don't have any transportation or assistance, they can call that number and answer those 3 questions, and then it's rocking and rolling from there.
And Commissioner,
yes, sir.
Can I put this out?
Please.
I am trying to reach out to the home health care providers too, because it makes the home health care providers' job just a little more simpler when they go into their client's home, because you don't have to be bothered with putting medication together. That takes up about 30 minutes. That drops about 30 minutes of your time. You don't have to be putting it together because it's all packaged together. And now, during this COVID season, a lot of people don't want you touching their medicine anyway.
Well, I like that because a lot of our homebound residents do depend on home health care nurses coming in at different times during the week. And you're absolutely right. Time is the most valuable resource. And for that home health care professional, this really expedited when you have everything organized and easily accessible so they can read it and understand based upon the times that one is supposed to take their medicine. I tell you, this is an excellent program. What took you so long to get here? I'm so glad that you came up to share this great news with the seniors here and all of our residents.
To be here.
Yes, sir.
I am glad to be here, and I am wonderful. I mean, just overwhelmed to share this news with you, Commissioner, because you know, Commissioner, you and I go a long way back.
We go a long way back. But listen, you look so good. I want to talk about healthy living and healthy lifestyle, making healthy choices. You had to change your diet. There's some things, I mean, man, you look really good. Tell us about choices and decisions, healthy living, and the change of your diet, and how people can manage and still move forward, but making those adjustments. Talk to us about that.
First of all, I've got to give the praise and honor to my wife.
Okay.
Because she prepares my meals and things. And she is my rock, my foundation, my solid.
Yes, sir.
So along with her, you know, it's been a battle. But I am a motivation speaker for blindness and diabetes.
Yes, sir.
So I spoke at churches, hospitals, you know, because eating right is a very important of it. It's very important that you eat right. You know, when you go to the doctor and the doctor tell you do this and do that and eat like this and that, you know, sometimes, you know, as far as like, we just passed Thanksgiving, so we know some of us got off track.
Yes, sir. Yeah, some of us got off track a little bit.
Some of us got off track when we ate, but get back on track because, you know, like I say, I've had diabetes. Earlier I mentioned that I've had diabetes.
Wait a minute, Mr. Keeling. I got, that's what I appreciate about you. You kept it real. You talked about the trip up sometimes, or the slip up of the holiday season. I mean, all of this good food and these treats and what have you. You talked about getting off track, but then you talked about getting right back on track. Let's keep them on track. Yes, sir. So talk about getting back on track.
We have to get back on track because, eating right, what you put in your body, you have to manage what you put in your body.
That's right.
Because it may not hit you when you're young, but as you get older, those organs and everything in your body is getting older too. I've never seen, and you probably will never see, a 72-year-old person with 14-year organs. That's not going to happen.
No, sir.
So as we get older, we have to manage our food as far as like managing the medication, but we have to manage our food that we eat too. And we have to eat right. We have to exercise.
Now, I'm going to bring something back to your memory, and I don't know whether you know that I know this, but I remember this. You always used to be a big fan of crispy fried chicken.
Yes, sir.
you used to love some fried chicken. Now, you've had to change because you can't eat that fried chicken like you once did.
You know what?
Or you can't eat it at all.
I eat mostly my chicken baked now.
That's what I was going to ask you. What were you substituting it with?
I have to eat it baked, and guess what? It still tastes like chicken.
It is chicken. It is chicken.
Every now and then, it's more then than my wife. If I have a treat or something like that, she may let me have one piece or something like that, but it's not rare because I'm talking about, I worked in the prison system for 17 years, but
sir.
My wife is the warden.
Okay. She keeps you on track.
She keeps me on track. I retired as a counselor in the prison system.
Yes, sir.
I started out in juvenile,
yes, sir.
And I worked my way to adult correction. So I went back to school and got my bachelor's in psychology.
Very good.
And I moved on and I started being a counselor in the prison. And then that's when my medical issues had me to medical retire. But it didn't have me to, it just retired me from that plan of my life.
Yes,
it
sir.
didn't retire me from the plan that God has for me now.
He put you on a plan of purpose.
Right. See, when we come up, we get jobs. We say, well, you know what? I'm gonna retire off that job. I'm gonna be here 30 years. But guess what? We can make a plan, but God is the plan maker.
That's right.
So if He saw fit for me, and to be truthful with you, Commissioner, if I wouldn't have lost my sight, and I would not have been introduced to accessible pharmacy and things like this, I probably wouldn't be doing this.
Well, God has changed your life with the loss of your sight and connecting you with accessible pharmacy. Before we wrap this segment up on the healthy living and the healthy choices, I do want you to talk a little bit more about why it's so important that people really do have a healthy diet and make good choices, because that's really, really important. I mean, we talked and laughed a little bit about every now and then having a piece of fried chicken and that kind of thing, but this is really serious business.
Yes,
and you talked about the fact that when you get older, not only do you get older, but your organs, your body, everything gets older. Talk about healthy living and why it's important, and share a few more of those things of what you've done in terms of, you talked about no more fried chicken, now you're doing baked chicken. Talk about some of those healthy choices.
It's very important that we stay healthy and eat healthy.
Yes, sir.
As I said, and I state, I'm on dialysis now. And it's like in the beginning, not eating the more healthy, right foods and eating things that you should have been eating, and and things like that, and which led me up on dialysis. That's why I say, people, it's serious. It is serious out here that you maintain your health, and you eat right, you exercise, you do the things that the doctors ask you to do. It's time to be grown up now. Mm-hmm. And I'm on dialysis now, and I'm out here and I'm needing a kidney. Mm-hmm. I'm O positive. My blood type is O positive, and I'm on a kidney donor list. I'm on, I'm listed at 4 major hospitals.
Yes, sir.
I'm at Piedmont Buckhead. I'm at Emory here up in Atlanta. I'm at Augusta University back at home, and I'm on MUSC Charleston for a kidney and a pancreas.
Let me just say this, Mr. Keeling. We're going to pray and believe that God is going to get you what you need. I'm so glad that you shared that piece of it and talking about healthy living and making adult choices and grown-up choices, as you stated. It's so important that if you want to live, you got to eat right, have the right kind of diet. One of the things about caretakers and folks who are fortunate to have family and friends around them, it can be frustrating for family when you're trying to support someone, but yet they're still not eating right or drinking the wrong things or just not, they're damaging their body. And when you couple that with medication, things are really going to deteriorate. What do you say to that disabled person, the person with the limitations, and what they're doing to their loved ones who are there to try to support them, but they're also creating some kind of frustration because you don't want to see your loved one deteriorate, but they're not following the rules. Let's be real and talk about that part of what advice and what real hard fact do you say to that patient out there, and they've got somebody that's standing by their side trying to help them, but they're being hard-headed?
I say to each and every one of you that have a support system, you value your support system. It's not only you going through it, you're taking them through it. What you do affects them. And I thank God that I have a beautiful support system. My wife, my 2 daughters, my mother, my father, I have a beautiful support system, my friends, but if you have a support system, it's time to do the right thing because what you do affects them. And if they take their time to take care of you, the best thing you can do is just abide by the things that they do.
Ms. Keeling, I couldn't have said that no better than you. You really hit the nail on the head, and you spoke in a language that most people watching and listening to this broadcast could understand and certainly appreciate, because I know that caretakers, folks and loved ones and family and friends, as you eloquently put it in your own words, it's tough on them oftentimes, and especially when you have an emotional connection to the person that you're assisting and they're not listening or they're being hard-headed, and that really takes a lot of the wind from out from beneath your wings, so to speak. So thank you for sharing that, and thank you for giving that motivation. As we make our way to a close here, I want to go back to your need and your call for support and help. You talked about the various hospitals between Atlanta and Augusta that have you on the radar all the way over into Charleston, South Carolina. Give us your blood type again. Tell us about everything. There could possibly be a blessing for you right here in Rockdale County. But even if it's not in Rockdale County, you're taking this broadcast and many people are going to see it. Someone out there may be a match for you, and we would like to be able to bless you with that opportunity about getting the word out. Tell us what they need to know and to determine if they are a match for you.
Once again, my blood type is O positive. The hospitals, I will mention them again. The hospitals that I'm listed at is Piedmont in Buckhead, Emory in Atlanta, also Augusta University in Augusta, Georgia, and MUSC in Charleston, South Carolina for a kidney pancreas. So what you need to do if you want to become a potential prospect for me, get in touch with those hospitals or either give me a call and I will get in touch with the hospitals and have the hospitals to try to get in touch with you. And once again, my number is 706-691-8246 because I have some more that I need to do. So I need to get me an organ to help my body keep doing what I need to do. I've been on dialysis since February. And my kidneys failed. I went in the hospital. They said I had a fluid overload. Okay. I knew it wasn't my heart because I exercise and I ride a bicycle 3 hours every day, Monday through Friday, and I ride a bicycle 4 hours on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. So I'm doing my best to stay healthy. So if you have a kidney that you want to donate, or either, I have a GoFundMe page. I do have a GoFundMe page. And, hey, whatever you can do, whatever you do, whatever your heart leads you to do, God's already got it in store. So whatever that you are entitled to do, I thank you. Whatever you want to do, I thank you. And God thanks you too.
Ms. Keeling, thank you for sharing that. One other piece I wanted to talk about when we were talking about the healthy living and the healthy lifestyle and making better choices, the cost of eating right, the cost of healthy living. Sometimes just trying to find the right place to eat lunch sometimes that's healthy, it costs. One of my favorite places that sell salads, and I won't call their name, they've got some of the best salads in town. They're healthy, but boy, do they cost. I just can't afford that salad every day.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
How you going to put a price on life?
You can't put a price on life. That's you hit me right there. Absolutely.
You can't, and going to the grocery store, and usually I'll be like, oh, good God, that stuff high. But now my wife can tell you, go and get it. I don't care how much it is, because one thing about it, she reads those labels.
Yes, sir.
She reads how much protein, phosphate. She reads all that potassium. She reads all that. I have a beautiful support system.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And you hit me hard.
I love
You hit me hard with that question too. How can you put a price on life? You can't.
You cannot put a price on life.
That's a perfect comeback, and I appreciate that. And let me just say, we are impressed with the work that you're doing. We certainly are honored that you took your time out to make that drive from Augusta, Richmond County to Conyers, Rockdale, and be a part of Chop It Up with the chairman. We believe that someone has taken down all of this information. They have it for themselves. They have it for yes, sir. They have it for a loved one. We have several local churches in our community, and we believe that some of our local clergy and pastors will be able to hear and see this broadcast. They might invite you up to become a motivational speaker there at their church and their congregation and talk to their crowd. We also have a senior services department here in Rockdale County. We'll have to get you back up in the new year to come up and get your schedule where you can talk to our group of robust and very active seniors, and some of them will be able to benefit from hearing your message. But as we close, I just want to ask you a couple of other closing comments because you've talked all throughout this broadcast, and you've pressed my emotional button every time you reference your beautiful wife and daughters and friends, your mother and your father, your support system. Why do you believe that you're on this new mission now, not just for yourself, but for all of those people in your world? Tell us about the core and the passion of what you do.
The passion is, my passion is, I love to help people. I have a passion for, when I lost my sight, like I say, I thought the world was ending, but it's not. It's just a new beginning. It's just dim my world to the sight that I may not see, but Commissioner, as I say, we have people that can see they blind. Some people can see they blind, but
as my grandmother would say, you can say that again, so say it again.
Some people out there with 20/20 vision, they are blind. They are blind. They are blind to the fact, or blind to the resources, because as being a blind person, some people feel like it's a foreign language, and it's not. We are blind people that just want to take our part in this world. We are part of the same world. I use an example all the time. I say, if I go to Walmart and I pick up a bottle of dish detergent, and it's $1.69, Okay, and a sighted person go in there and pick up the same bottle, it's $1.69. When you get to the cash register, they gonna charge you the same. So we are the same. We are the same. You know, I tell you what. When me and my wife came up here to Conyers, she had sight, she could see, but I bet you me and her arrived at the same time.
Yes, y'all did.
So we didn't retire. She didn't arrive no minute before I did.
Yes, sir.
So it's just, and I like to be a resources out there for every person that's going through anything, blind, low vision, independent seniors. I'm reaching out to you too. Home health care providers. I'm reaching out to you too. People with certain types of disabilities. I won't say disabilities, certain type of illnesses. And because guess what? When we look at it, we all are disabled some kind of way. We all have a disability some kind of way. But I want to be a great resource. I want you to tell everybody that you know about Lavell Keeling. He's in Augusta, Georgia, the same town James Brown got down.
All right.
So just tell him about Lavell Keeling.
Yes, sir.
And like I say, that number, and I'm going to give it to you again because you may not have caught it the first time. 706-691-8246. That's my personal cell. I have it on my hip at all times. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please give me a telephone call. I'm hoping I have more ability. I don't just like to open my mouth to smell my breath. I like to give you some conversation.
Well, I tell you, you've given us a lot of good conversation during this segment of Chop It Up with the Chairman. I really like how you put that spin on coming from Augusta, Georgia, the same town as the Godfather soul, James Brown. Yes, sir. You did a great job there. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your passion and what you're doing. Thank you to your beautiful wife and your daughters and your mom and dad and all of that support group that's there. I want to say to all of those who are listening and watching this broadcast, Mr. Keeling is in need of a kidney. He's doing some great work on behalf of so many people all across this great land. We want you to contact him. He's given his number out on multiple times during this segment, and we want you to call him. If you have a match, if you think you are a match, give him a call directly. You be able to bless him, he and his family. Mr. Keeling, thank you so much for the wonderful work you're doing.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you. And it's always a pleasure to see you.
So, Mr. Keeling, you were talking about cost. Is there a cost involved or associated with a senior or someone with a disability or limitation when they contact your company for services? Is there a cost involved?
No, it's not a cost. Everything is free. The packaging, the delivery, all that is free. The only cost is whatever the insurance company charges the person. Then we don't charge, the insurance company charges. That's the only thing. But the cost of coming to deliver it to your home, that's free.
Well, that's valuable information because so many of our seniors and folks with disabilities and limitations, as you know, are on a fixed income. Mm-hmm. So that question is very, very important to make sure they clearly understand that there is no cost to them directly. There is a cost on the flip side of it with your organization and the insurance provider.
Right.
But directly associated out of the pocket of that particular person that's calling, there is no cost involved.
Right.
Also, we talked about healthy living, and you gave us a lot of good nuggets and tips about some of the things that you've done to change your lifestyle. Here in Rockdale County, we have a very robust parks and recreation department, trails, weight room, facility, an indoor swimming pool. So there's no excuse for the folks here in Rockdale County that can get out and take advantage of all of the exercise equipment and all of the amenities that will support and contribute to healthy lifestyles and healthy living. Also, you talked about food prep. I really appreciated what you talked about. Your wife plans your meals, she preps your meals. We have and I know they have it there in Augusta as well, 4-H, the University of Georgia Corporate Extension Office and 4-H, they do a wonderful job with meal prep and planning, and they have what they call the food rainbow to make sure that you're eating the proper things that will match your diet. So we want to encourage those folks in Rockdale and those folks anywhere that take advantage of your local parks and recreation, take advantage of your 4-H club and your corporate extension office. We have it in cooperation with the University of Georgia here in Rockdale County. Those things are really, really important. So is there any other thing that you would like to add as we close this segment out?
Just be safe, be careful, give me a call if you need me. Like I say, Lavell, Keeling, and Accessible Pharmacy will become your best friend.
All right, folks, well, there you have it. I'm Chairman Oz Nesbitt. You've been watching another segment of Chop It Up with the Chairman on Channel 23, featuring our very good friend, Mr. Lavell Keeling. And we've been giving you some very good information about how you can keep your life healthy and deal with low vision and blindness and several other things. And I want to make sure I wrap up one last time because I want to give folks an opportunity to take advantage of your personal request. And your personal request is that of the need of a kidney. And give us your blood type one more time.
My blood type is O positive. And once again, I am listed at 4 hospitals. That's Piedmont Buckhead and Emory here in Atlanta, Augusta University in my hometown of Augusta, Georgia, and MUSC in Charleston, South Carolina for kidney pancreas. So those are the 4 hospitals that I am listed at. If it's touching your heart to try to become a potential donor, please give me a call or give one of those hospitals a call. My name is Lavell Keeling, and I do have a GoFundMe page. You can go on my GoFundMe page, Lavell Keeling, and you will see my GoFundMe. Whatever you do, whatever your heart leads you to do, I thank you in advance because I know God is touching your heart. And thank you so much.
Ms. Keeling, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for being a part of Chop It Up with the Chairman. Folks, you've been watching another segment of Chop It Up with the Chairman, Chairman Oz Nesbitt on Channel 23.